Hello everyone and welcome to Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones. My name is Gironca and today I start a new series on my channel and I will be playing as Lord Aegon Beesbury, Lord of Honeyholt. Now, where is Honeyholt? Honeyholt is a small castle, or so I think. Yes, a small Reachman castle over in the Reach. The Beesburys are a fairly old family and sworn to the Hightowers of Old Town. Now, House Beesbury, as I said, is fairly old and actually does go back to Garth Greenhand, which basically means that the Beesburys have a claim to the Reach. It's a very weak claim though, however, because as you can see, Lady Flores the Fox, which eventually founded the House Florent branch, she's the first daughter of Garth Greenhand, whereas our kinswoman, Lady Ellen Eversweet, is the second youngest daughter he ever had. Now, Lady Ellen Eversweet, an attractive woman, was the first ever lady of Honeyholt, and she was a first man old god. So what happened was, once the Andals invaded, House Beesbury eventually, as many southern lords, most of them actually, converted to the faith of the Seven, and so intermarried with the Andals. And yeah, that is all we have to say about the house for now. Just take a quick look at our lordship. I already did that. We have a small Reachman castle along the Rose Road going into Old Town. Also next to the Honeywine River, which eventually flows into Old Town as well and into the Whispering Sound. Now, we have two cities actually, the city of Farheave and Honeybridge, as well as the city of Wineleaf. So Honeyholt is a rather rich part of the Reach, which certainly makes us for a more important small lord. So for example, if we look at the Black Bars next to us, they don't have as many cities, so they're not as powerful as we are. But what does this mean in the grand scheme of the things? Because right now we are in the time of the Targaryen Civil War, known as the Dance of Dragons. And I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with this, but for those of you who don't know, just a quick recap. We had King Viserys on the Iron Throne, and he died of illness. Now on his deathbed, he commanded his lady, or his firstborn daughter, Lady Rhaenyra of Dragonstone, to be his heir. Now, when he died, however, his Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, who I had to make a important character, I forgot. There he is. Criston Cole, the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, is known as the Kingmaker because he actually decided that he would crown King Aegon II as king instead of his sister Rhaenyra. Make them a special interest as well. So yeah, so his sister Rhaenyra was supposed to be the heir, and the Kingsguard crowned someone else. So, of course, a civil war broke out because we have no two claimants to the throne. And Lady Rhaenyra of Dragonstone is being supported by the North, Cregan Stark, Jane of the Vale, Jane Arryn of the Vale, and the Rat Kraken, Dalton Greyjoy. Whereas the king is being supported by Jason Lannister of the Westerlands, Lord Ormond Hightower of Old Town, our liege, and by Magister Pinto of the Three Daughters over here in Essos. Now, there's a couple other lords who have not yet decided. Dorne, for example, is still independent, so they don't even concern themselves with the matters of the realm. The Reach have a very, very young boy, 0 years old, Lionel Tyrell, who's obviously not going to participate in the wars. He has other things to do. The Riverlands have not decided. Lord Paramount Grover, he probably claims illness as an excuse, I could imagine. And the Stormlands, what's with the Stormlands? Right, so Paramount Boros of the Stormlands, his father vowed to support Rhaenyra, but now Boros gets to decide whose side he's going to stand on. Either he's going to support the Targaryen, Aegon Targaryen, or his sister Rhaenyra. We're going to see how that works out. But there's a couple of smaller lords, for example, the House Tarth of the Straits of Tarth. They are supporting Rhaenyra, as well as House Rowan of Golden Grove, and House Tarly of the West Marches, as well as a couple other smaller lords who are supporting Rhaenyra instead of Aegon. Now, we actually I have started, or have been going forward a little bit, or I started not exactly on the 1st April, which is the start date for the Dance of Dragons scenario. I've been going 1 month and 2 days ahead because our grandfather, Lord Lyman Beesbury, has died today. So today was the day when we became Lord of Honeyholt. Before that, it was our grandfather, Lyman Beesbury. Now, why is that important? It says right here that he was executed at age 80, and he was executed in the throne room of King's Landing, in the small council chamber, perhaps, by Criston Cole, or at least on his orders. And why is that? Because our grandfather was master of coin for, not Aegon, but for Viserys Targaryen and for Jaehaerys Targaryen before him. So we had Jaehaerys the Old, and our grandfather was master of coin for him. When he died, he was on the small council for Viserys, and he actually supported Rhaenyra. And when Aegon was crowned king, and he refused to support him, he was executed and replaced by someone else. So, what do I want to do in this series as the Beesburys? Now, basically, I want to just have a very nice roleplay game. I've always done roleplay in all of my series, but I always had a overarching goal that kind of made me treat the roleplay like a second-class citizen, because I always felt like, something like paranoid or honorable, especially, could get in my way of achieving something. But in this playthrough, I don't want that. I really want to focus on playthrough, not on playthrough, but on roleplay primarily. So that's what I'm going to do. However, there's not much we know about the Beesburys, but one of the things we know is that Lord Alan actually sided with Rhaenyra in the war. So this is the first thing I'm going to do. This is all we know about Lord Alan Beesbury, that he sided with Rhaenyra, and I'm going to do that. And once I've sided with Rhaenyra, everything else I'm going to simply base on the traits. So every other decision I make, I will really just look at my traits and see, would that make sense? Would this person do that? A paranoid person? Now, it makes sense that we're paranoid, actually, because our grandfather, who was just Lord before us, he just got executed in the throne room. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem. Now, our father, for some reason, he has just died a natural death, which is unfortunate, and our mother died as well. So, we have no one to guide us, except for our siblings. So, let's look at this. Actually, let's look at the House Beesbury. Apparently, we have 2 children already, and we have 2 brothers as well as 1 sister. Is that all the people we have? 9. So that's 4. And then, yeah. And our son already has kids as well. He has a bastard, 2 bastards actually, and 1 trueborn and Nicole. Okay. Interesting. They all have no particular important traits. Okay, so they count, so those are 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Okay, so those are all the 9 living members. So we are the oldest living Beesbury right now. And obviously the Lord. Now, our brother, Garth, he is a skilled fighter, and he is married to some lowborn. We have Sir Leo, our other brother. He's a commander and a trained fighter, an honorable just like we are, a knight, very nice. And he's not married yet, so we can potentially use him to, well, create some alliances. And my sister Esme Beesbury, and she's currently educating my daughter. She's a mastermind scholar and authoritative person, but just, which is very good. And she's also not married as of right now. Now we, however, Alan Beesbury, we haven't even checked out ourselves yet. We are a knight as well, which is rather common for our Reachman people. And honorable, as I said, we are paranoid, chaste, and gluttonous, a trained fighter, and an expert scientist. Now we are actually married to Lady Lynette of Hightower. So we are, as I said, I will support Rhaenyra in this war, which means we're gonna have to fight our liege, because our liege, Ormond Hightower, is supporting King Aegon II. So we would actually have to fight against the liege and against the family of my wife. So certainly this is something I wouldn't do if I would just, you know, roleplay. But as I said, this is one thing I will do. So I'm not sure if I can already join. I cannot join Rhaenyra just now. I think I'll have to go forward one day. 4th of March. So now everyone has raised his troops. Now I think it's possible for me. There we are. Decide upon civil war sites. So, do it. So the Iron Throne is in state of war. Aegon II expects us to provide men for his army. What shall we do? Now, we could support the throne, as I said. We're not going to do that. We're going to say that the rebels' cause is just. We're now at war, not only with our king, which, well, is not our king, as we said, but we're also at war with our liege, House Hightower. Now, the good thing is that we're not alone. We do not stand alone, as I said. We have in the reach the ruins of, what do they hold? What castle they hold? Golden Grove, obviously. We have the castles of Bitterbridge, the tallies of Hornhill, and as I said, House Mullendor, I believe, of the Uplands, and House Costain of Three Towers. So we're not the only ones sworn to Hightower that rise up against the liege lord. Now, the problem is we currently have 700 men of our own men raised in service to our liege lord, but I think they're gonna disappear soon enough. So maybe we'll go one more day forward. There we are. Okay, so now the first thing we're gonna do is obviously raise our own men. We have 1,380 men. That's not bad. It's not very good either, but it's better than nothing. And we're gonna have to meet up over here with the Tarleys, because Alan Tarley, our namesake, is a strong character, skilled fighter. Now, not necessarily a brilliant commander, but a brave man, and he will know what to do. He has way more martial skill than we do. We only have one martial, so very terrible. Before we do anything, we probably want to choose an ambition. Now, there's not much we can do. Gluttonous, we are gluttonous, honorable, paranoid, chaste. So we don't want to have 5 children since we're chaste. Adopt a lifestyle, I don't know. Fall in love, I can't really see why we'd want to fall in love. Become exalted amongst men. Wants his name to live forever. I don't think, we're not proud, so I don't think we want that. Become a paragon of virtue. Strive to become a beacon of chivalry and honor. We could do that because we're a knight. I could think about this. Amass wealth. Now, amassing wealth, there's a lot of people who would want to do that. Now, we're not particularly ambitious, and we're not greedy either. So I wouldn't really say that we want to do that. Perhaps I think we're just gonna go for an exciting hobby. I can only imagine. I think that's the only thing we can really do. Although falling in love, well, it's gonna be difficult if we go to war with her family. So I think we're not gonna pick an ambition for now, because I can't really decide on anything to do, but we're gonna try to pick a focus. Now, probably I'm just gonna go with rulership here, or scholarship. We are an expert scientist, and we probably want to know some more things about the world. Now, family focus wouldn't necessarily make sense. We do have kids, but I don't see why we would focus on our family. We could do carousing. It's the second that listen lacks pot. Well, we're not a drunkard. What is carousing? Is it only drinking? Now, these two don't see a reason we would do that. Don't see why we would go hunting or war. So those are not gonna happen. Family is not gonna happen. Theology is not gonna happen. So I think we're gonna go with scholarship here. So yeah, as you can see, this game is much more slow paced than my other games, because I really try to take in all of our traits, or take all the traits into consideration when deciding. So it's gonna go a little bit slower, but I hope you don't mind. Now, before we raise our levies, we want to appoint a captain of the household guard, or a commander. Let's check out our minor titles that we have right now. So, as you can see, we have 2 commanders. My son is one of the commanders, and my brother Leo. So those 2 commanders, very nice. My brother Garth is actually the castellan, and one of my city masters is the justicer. Then we have Master of Arms Gerald, who's a brilliant commander. I wish he would lead our armies. So we're actually gonna award him an honorary title and make him one of... Well, do we want to make him a bodyguard? He's not particularly good at fighting, no. Don't want him as our bodyguard. Who else could we pick? Another spy master here. And Mina as a treasurer. Perhaps we can find someone better. No. We can find a better spy master than this. No, we already have the best people in here. However, this guy seems like a very good commander. Can I give him a commander title? I cannot. Can I make him a commander? No. Okay, I can have a sword shield. Now, I think what we're gonna do is have our castellan oversee our province, because, well, we're gonna have to ride out with our troops. So we need someone in charge over here. A justicer? Well, given the current situation, we're at war with our liege, so there's not going to be any diplomatic actions possible. We're allied, basically, with the Tarleys over to the west, with the Mullendors to the south, and obviously the Costains to the south as well. And we're also at war with House Blackbar to the west. Now, to the north, however, House Florent has not yet decided to support either one of the pretenders or the claimants to the throne. So what I think I will do is improve diplomatic relations with the Florents, because they are next to us, and we don't want to get attacked by them, or potentially we want to convince them to support our cause. Now, my master arms, it probably makes a lot of sense if we send him to train the troops over here in Honeyholt, just so we can get more units. And our treasurer should probably just collect taxes. I think that just makes sense. Our spy master, now we are paranoid, so we definitely want our spy master to scheme. However, I'm not really happy with this spy master. We perhaps want to give him an honorary title, make him a cupbearer. Yeah, I think we're gonna, no, we're not gonna make our spy master the cupbearer. We're gonna make him scheme. We're not gonna have him do both, being our cupbearer and our spy master. I don't trust one man enough. We're gonna want to split that up. And perform charity, I think nothing speaks against performing charity, really. Yeah. Okay, so now there's a couple of titles. We need a sword and shield, and we definitely need some bodyguards because we are paranoid, as I said. So first we're probably gonna pick our brother Leo, who's also our commander. So that definitely makes a lot of sense. Who else could we potentially pick? Our master arms. I think that makes also sense, having our master arms as a bodyguard. Yeah, I guess you could say that. And someone else. Now, we could make our son, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense, so we're not going to make our son our bodyguard. What else could we do? We can command more bodyguards. We're not going to do that. A cupbearer, as I said. Now, who do we trust a lot? Let's actually go for opinion. So we do trust our maester the most. Interesting, but our maester is not going to be our cupbearer. But this is just a random courier who's content and honorable, so we can probably trust him a lot. Yes, so we're going to make Elias our cupbearer. There you are. And we're going to make these guys important characters, simply because they are important to us, right? They are family members, or they hold titles. Now, Leo is our sword and shield, and this is our castellan. And he's also our commander. Good. Now, a maester, probably not too important. Okay. What else can we do? We can give out other titles. We need a designated regent. Now, we're probably gonna make our son our regent, because he's already of age. He's 20 years old, so there's no reason not to have our son as our regent. Okay. I think that's good for now. What else? Yes, we have unlearned sons. Unfortunately, we only have one keep, so we can't really give out any titles. Was that all I had to do? Yeah. Now we can actually, our levy, our maximum levy has increased quite a lot, but we do not have time to wait for this, so we have to raise our men right now, and combine them, obviously. So we have Leo leading in the center. Now we think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So we're gonna have Leo lead in the center. No, actually, we're gonna lead the center. We're gonna have Leo and Jocelyn lead the flanks. Although that doesn't really make sense. We have the weakest. Do we want to do that? Can we balance our troops more? We can appoint sub-commanders as well, but we only have 2 commanders. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to think about this. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the first episode. I know there's basically only 2 days that we've gone forward, but it's gonna be a little bit better next time. There was a lot of setting up to do, a lot of getting you guys to know what is going on. But yeah, next time's gonna go faster. Thank you for watching. I'll see you then. Gironca, signing off.